Conveniently, secure, borderless.
Hello and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 13th day of February 2022. Before we get into tonight's bulletin, let's first take a look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In tonight's headlines, Premier appeals for harmony and peace in all communities. Elderly woman says eating well has made her live for 100 years. Uganda on a steady economic path despite COVID-19 pandemic hazards. And in sports, SC Villa increasing its fan base.
Was brought to you by
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Brought to you by
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
Good evening once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu on Sign Language. Now we first start off with our first headlining story this evening. The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Robina Nabanja, has asked the public to embrace government programs to enhance the development of the country. The Premier made the remarks at a fundraising function for Chitezo Catholic Church in Isingiro district, where she also managed to intervene and solve a land conflict between the church and the community.
The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Robina Nabanja, was a chief guest at a fundraising function organized by Chitezo Catholic Church in Isingiro district with an aim to solicit for funds for the church's rehabilitation. During the function, the clergy of Chitezo Catholic Church requested the Premier to intervene and solve a land conflict that has existed for over 40 years between the church and one of its community members, which she managed to settle amicably. She proposed that the government compensate the community member who claims ownership of the land to avoid relocating the church and for purposes of creating peace in the area, which decision was welcomed by both parties.
Tubushinga naiza hanuya habukondurich ensongeji eitaka tunga abantu baitu iwe commissioner watu omukyalo oyo mangu okutandika n'olwaleero omukazi oyo tumuwe sente nga government abantu ekerezia kati nkoze kiragiro because my word is final. Omukyala tumuwe ettaka ekereziya n'abakatuliki babeere n'emirembe gyabwe ono naye afune waggulu abeere n'emirembe.
The Prime Minister also asked the community to embrace government programs in order to improve their household incomes and welfare.
Ayiyize akurora abantu baitu abandi gonze tukozire ebintu byona abandi tibakatungire sente. Hatya amwezi kuno tukujja kutongoza ebiro 26 okwo mu district ya Kibuku. Tujja kutandika na milioni 17 buli muruka. Abantu basobole kwehola esente ezo basobole kwekulakulaniza. Ekyo tekikwetaaga engalo.
The clergy thanked the Prime Minister for her decisiveness in solving the land dispute and called for harmony and peaceful coexistence in the community. The family of the late Kwatiraho, which was claiming ownership of the land, also thanked the Prime Minister for resolving the conflict and sought reconciliation.
Kwasima kandi mukama konjera muki abakristo bakitezo bajenzi okusasirana tusasirane.
The woman member of parliament for Itsinjiro district, Honorable Claire Mugumya, lauded the Prime Minister's leadership style and for her commitment to solving challenges being faced in the country.
Eshayona barabara mweta kutoro kuno konko sinisa Prime Minister turakusima munonga kutugirira obwire nkobu okijo karara muri mbarara okija muri sindiro kasibamu. Prime Minister ogu niko mwezi gwa mukaga mazire kuba Prime Minister konko ogu niko murundi gwa kashatalija muri sindiro yonka timutera mungaro bajenzi.
The Premier contributed 6.5 million Uganda shillings towards the fundraising drive. The event was also attended by the RDC for Isinjiro District, Mohanji Habat, the Assistant Commissioner for the Lands Commission, Becca Mugaino, and other government officials. Doreen Nasasra reporting for UBC News.
Thank you, Doreen Nasasira. Now, the Uganda Printing and Publishing Association is appealing for the revision of the directive about ring fencing of all government printing and other stationery work to only government bodies. This is saying the main client is monopolized to few entities. Take a look.
The printing and publishing sector employs about 40,000 people, with the private sector contributing 90% of this. However, the sector is not at ease in regard to a recent directive that all government printing work be given to government-leaning printing corporations.
Liberal economy, we believe that this should be, the market itself should determine who is offering the best. Who is offering the best value. And then finally, this country needs a competition authority. Because if right now, this complaint should be going to the competition authority, that these are uncompetitive practices. But now there's no authority. See? And this is what we're saying. Whether we're talking about fuel, whether we're talking about different things, in a market-based economy, you need an umpire and you need a referee to ensure that people behave themselves.
Stakeholders want printing work bidded for through a competitive process, through an authority that would act as a referee in a free enterprise.
And to ask government to reconsider this decision. We believe it's ill-informed. It's going to have a negative impact on the economy. A, in terms of job creation. B, in terms of taxes. 3, in terms of local. We're appealing to His Excellency the President. Please. We would also want to meet you so that we put this case before you, so that you are able to make a more balanced and informed decision.
Now, when we go direct to the government entities, they have the letters pinned on their notice boards, clearly showing that we are not allowed to get any job from them.
Uganda Printing and Publishing Association is appealing for the revision of the directive about ring fencing of all government printing and other stationery work to only government bodies.
The competition for government jobs should never be limited to New Vision Group and UPPC, because we feel this discriminatory and contrary to the law of material justice and the best practice that govern the public procurements in Uganda.
With the current standing order, all local governments across the country are not supposed to contract private companies for any form of printing apart from the New Vision Group and the Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation, both situated in Kampala. Abdul Nasir Luwama, UBC News.
The resident district commissioner, Korle District, Caroline Angolere, says there is need for mindset change towards production if the community in the region is to move at the same pace with other parts of the country. This was during a Farmers' Brownfield Day celebration, during which farmers showcased successes and challenges of the previous farming season.
What's the stomach? It is you who is producing the children who are supposed to go to school. So why are you not going to the garden? What is the problem? It's practical. I have moved across Korle District. The only thing young people are doing with their fathers is drink the whole day, play cards. Why can't you get tired of drinking and playing cards the whole day without a focus of doing something productive?
Korle Resident District Commissioner Caroline Angolere wants issues to do with land fragmentation, poor market access and poor extension services addressed so that communities can benefit from government programs.
Supporting commercial agriculture, which to me I think is being hindered by the challenge of land fragmentation, where, for example, the family scrambles about the land, partitions the land that is supposed to actually support the entire family if all the land is put into good use.
Angolere says stakeholders are not doing enough to change mindset of the population towards production.
We can only change the mindsets of people if there are success stories within that community, that this actually works and there is market for whatever enterprises somebody has chosen. So there is need to guide farmers through.
This was during Farmers' Brownfield Day celebrations, during which farmers showcased successes and challenges of the previous farming season. Angolere applauded Sasakawa Africa Association for addressing gaps in extension, especially in post-harvesting technologies they are exhibiting.
There are machines here, they are exposing us to these machines, they are showcasing the machines to us. We should be willing to learn how to add value to what we produce so that it can add more money.
The stakeholders in agriculture sector are saying that government needs to increase emoluments of the sector if Uganda is to achieve agriculture industrialization and attainment of the Vision 2040.
We all know that agriculture is the backbone of this country, and so we must also increase funding to the agriculture sector if we are to realize returns. Industries cannot thrive without productivity being increased on ground. And so the best we can do is to systematically nurture our farmers into agricultural industrialization.
The country Sasakawa Africa Association, Dr. Rosalind Nyamutali says her organization has mobilized farmers along the entire agriculture value chain for now 25 years.
And over the 25 years in Uganda, we have reached over 75 districts, 1.5 farming households, and due to the capacities of over 4,000 extension agents. We focus on farming as a business. We would like all the farm families to take it as a business. So we want it farming as a family business.
And Douglas Setumba for UBC News.
Residents of Namugongo Division in Kira Municipality have received a safe water facility. The area mayor, Ronald Nkalubo, officiated the inauguration at the event held at KASOKOSO village. We have the details in this report.
This is the 114th borehole to be drilled by a charity organization, A Future for Orphans Uganda. Mahai Brasov is one of the promoters of the charity organization that donated a borehole water source to the community.
The target is not to stop here. We want to do more boreholes. We have in our plan to do more, and we have just now about 4 boreholes in construction in your country. Yeah, this is very nice. I want to challenge you again. Please, if you have something, maybe it's not enough for a well, but bring your family, bring your community, and you can do it together.
Mayor Namugongo Division, Ronald Nkalubo Lubega, says that poor hygiene in KASOKOSO is attributed to lack of garbage trucks in which residents can dump garbage. Nkalubo wants government to extend more clean water points to the area to reduce on risks children go through to access safe water points.
We find it a problem because people are afraid to locate where they can put their garbage. My humble prayer to people who can give to this community, at least we get a garbage truck. But we are trying our level best as a division to put that service in order. We are trying our best, but the resources are minimal. We don't have much money that we can give, but we can engage to put into this area. That is, we get rubbish or garbage everywhere.
The founder, A Future for Orphans Uganda, John Rubonente, wants Ugandans to utilize the peace and security that the government is offering to start income-generating activities.
In terms of security, because we as NGOs, we can't operate if there's no security in the country. We'll be busy spending all the money allocation to things to do with humanitarian work, saving the life of people. But now we are busy putting all our funds on development programs and projects because there is security in the country.
Residents of KASOKOSO village are grateful for the new borehole installed in their area.
Abantu be KASOKOSO tuli basanyufu nnyo olw'ekitongole kino ekizotuyamba ne kituwa amazzi amalungi ne kitulongooseza ekitundu. Tubadde bakyafu nnyo naye tuli basanyufu, tusaba Katonda y'alina obbadizaawo.
The team later conducted a community cleaning exercise in the area and advised residents to maintain proper hygiene in order to stay safe. The charity organization has also constructed wells in Kampala, Wakiso, Gulu, Adjumani, Hoima and Mbarara districts. I am Mary Namkose for UBC News.
Now, it's about 7 months since the chairperson of the Indian Women Association of Uganda, Suman Venkatesh, died. Now her husband, Manapali Venkatesh, has got endorsement of the Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Kadaga, to carry on the works of Suman, especially in the health and education sector.
By the time of her death, Indian Women Association of Uganda chairperson Suman Venkatesh had started several projects in Uganda. Most of these aimed at securing health and education of locals and had spread in almost all corners of the country. The projects by the late Suman Venkatesh focused much on the girl child and also embarked on proper maternal health, mostly in slums and rural areas. In order to ensure the public doesn't miss out, the late Suman Venkatesh's husband, Manipal Venkatesh, has volunteered to carry on with her projects.
My wife always had this dream of empowerment of women and children. Especially the girl child.
Manipali has received a major endorsement from third Deputy Prime Minister Rebecca Kadaga, who urges the recipients to put services to good use. To kickstart Suman Venkatesh's legacy, Bulyambuzi Health Center 2 in Kamulit district has been painted as part of the impending major facelift.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with business stories and much, much more.
Your
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 25 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 65 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 165 MBs. Dial *150*10# or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
Our Ugandan story isn't a new one. It's not about where we come from. It's about what can be accomplished when we're working, living, and growing together. It's about speaking the same language, the language of progress. We're Ugandans building Uganda with Ugandans, skilling Ugandans and developing competencies required in the oil and gas sector, partnering with Ugandan businesses to achieve greatness. We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
Start the year off with My Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Baganda call it Munene Munene. The Banyankole Muhango. The Acholi Dit Dong Dit. The Bagishu Humuba Fubalfu. It means king size freshness for all. Movit Family Soap is giving you a fresh start for your family. This soap is indeed so big. Tagwirira Muwangazi. It has a great kawawa. Unaba, no naba, kare no nabi dala. Available in coconut, aloe vera, lemon, and rose. Find the king size Movit Family Soap in all Dukas, next supermarkets close to you. Movit all day confidence.
Start your day bright and early with good morning bundles from Airtel. That's right. Enjoy brighter days with 2 GB at 5,000 shillings, valid for 24 hours. Join that morning agent meeting. Close that online business deal. Catch up with loved ones. Do it all with the most affordable data bundles. Dial *175# to buy good morning bundles from 12 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. and enjoy 2 GB, valid for 24 hours from time of purchase. Good morning bundles for the best day ahead with Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break. And now into the business world. China National Oil Offshore Company has launched the procurement and construction stage 1 for the Kingfisher Development Project in Buhugu Parish, Changwali Sub-County in Chikube District. The PC1 project, which will last for 20 months, was contracted to Excel Construction Company at a cost of $23.3 million. The Kingfisher Development Project investment, that is worth $2 billion, is to be implemented in 3 phases and is expected to create 20,000 jobs.
One contractor further cements government's goal of ensuring local content in Uganda's oil and gas sector.
We have already told Ugandans that we shall have our first oil in 2025. In the first quarter, to be exact, in April. We can even mention the date that the first oil will come out. Why are we making this commitment? Is to tell everyone, to tell the world that you are not going to retract on the journey to develop our oil and gas in Uganda.
Excel Construction Limited, the contracted company, has been tasked to deliver quality service to give investors the confidence to take on more local service providers.
We have a confidence that Excel shall deliver this project on time and schedule and qualities, given their long history and expertise.
While we look forward to partner with the big companies in this whole exercise, we also do work with the small companies to bring them up as long as they are giving us the quality and the right materials.
Local leaders in the Albertine region are calling on the oil and gas investors to closely monitor their contribution to the socio-economic life of the communities they are operating in.
The staff at times get unruly. Our children, most especially the girl child in this district, are bound to be victims. Girls will be impregnated and all that. So I really caution and would like to ask our dear contractors, please take caution, sensitize your workers seriously.
To further enhance national content participation, Sinok Uganda Limited is engaging in enterprise development initiatives for capacity development of various stakeholders like suppliers, universities and local agencies. Wadulo Makanold for UBC News in Chukube District.
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily band of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 25 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 65 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 165 MBs. Dial *150 *10 hash or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
Our Ugandan story isn't a new one. It's not about where we come from. It's about what can be accomplished when we're working, living, and growing together. It's about speaking the same language, the language of progress. We're Ugandans building Uganda with Ugandans, skilling Ugandans and developing competencies required in the oil and gas sector, partnering with Ugandan businesses to achieve greatness. We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
Start the year off with My Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
And now into the world of sports. Makerere University Sports and Games Union has witnessed handover of captaincy in its handball team. This was during a dinner hosted at Hotel Triangle in Kampala.
Hope for the best.
Matovu Sebyala and Mercy Ainebyona have been unveiled as the next gender captains for Makerere University's handball team. These are replaced Kisa Ivan and Justin Nampija, respectively.
Thank you for the trust. Whoever entrusted me with this post, I promise to do my best.
This was during a handover dinner hosted at Hotel Triangle in Kampala and was attended by 1999 handball founding captain Francis Mujuzi.
After the days when you go off court, you can't play, you can't coach, maybe you can't manage, you take the discipline out in the country, out in the world. I treasure handball for the lessons that we pick. The discipline on court will aid our survival.
Makerere University handball teams are playing both the university games and the league, where they have registered numerous successes.
As Makerere Handball Club, starting this year, we are going to be having a bigger club which entails alumni and other students, and we shall also have the MAC team which shall be led by students.
At the same occasion, the team's home kit for the upcoming season was unveiled.
John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Uganda's most successful club, SC Villa, has continued its efforts of increasing its fan base. This initiative is spearheaded by the club's vice president in charge of fans and mobilization, Ben Emmanuel Misaga. We have the details.
Sports Club Villa may have taken ages now minus winning the league title, a feat they last achieved in 2004, but this doesn't extinguish passion amongst fans. Belief is that soon the club will turn the ugly corner and embark on a return to sporting glory, which in the past wrote the club's name among Africa's best. But to get to that stage, the club hierarchy led by its vice president in charge of mobilization have embarked on a nationwide opening of fans branches. These branches, the vice president Ben Emmanuel Misaga says, will form basis of improving the club's finances, and what follows the cash flow in sport is titles.
Today we are opening up a Karere branch, which is going to work as a yoke between the up-country funds around this area and the Villa executive. Our aim today is to make sure that our funds get the first feel of the club by opening up such branches. I'm so impressed with the type of arrangement and the type of office which has been opened today.
The latest branch to be opened is in Kalere that has not only launched its new leadership, but importantly, office space. The branch chairperson Abadru Katende promises the fans will play their part and urges the club executive to put the house in order.
Basebo ne banya babawagizi ennaku zino wena mukosebwa olwatimu okubange badde ekola bubi naye temunenya bakulembeze olw'ensonga bakabira mu buyinza banga ttono nnyo myezi giringa 2-3 tufube nnyo kuwa magezi na birowoozo tuberenga tiimu yaffe etambula bulungi buli kimu nga kigenda mu maaso. Sebo pulezidenti ffe twamanyira kubwa.
Sports Club Villa's league season thus far has nothing much to write about and hinges any chances of silverware on the Uganda Cup. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Brought to you by...
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
All right, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but do join us at 10 o'clock for another edition of UBC News Tonight. But before we sign out, let's take another look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by...
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In the top stories tonight's Premier appeals for harmony and peace in all communities. Elderly woman says eating well has made her live for 100 years. Uganda on a steady economic path despite COVID-19 pandemic hazards. And SC Villa increasing its fan base.
Was brought to you by... Everywhere you go, MTN.
All right, we leave you with Semper Alex Kim with our weather forecast for tomorrow. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. We will see you at 10.
Time for the weather forecast from the Weather Center with Semper Alex Kim. Sunny intervals dominated our skies across most parts of the country, and this is so because we are still having a continuation of dry winds coming in from the north into our region carrying dust particles that appear as haze across the country. Otherwise, we are still benefiting from the Congo air mass coming in into the western sector of the country, giving us some cloudy and light rainfall. Otherwise, the rest of the country is benefiting from the local effects over in the region. In the morning, we do expect to have sunny intervals across our skies, but the northern sector of the country is expected to have bright and sunny conditions, and a few areas within Lake Victoria are expected to have some light rainfall. But into the afternoon, we do expect a pickup of rainfall activities that will be across the Lake Victoria Basin, as well as parts of the western to the southwestern of the country. And because of this kind of weather, we do expect temperatures to remain a little bit high. That will be across the northern sector of the country at 33 degrees centigrade, whereas Kampala at 28, and we are forecasting at 25 degrees centigrade across Kabale Highlands. And elsewhere across the globe, we are forecasting chances of some rainfall. That will be for Paris as well as London. But for Nairobi, we do expect sunny intervals at temperatures over 30 degrees centigrade. With Dubai, bright and sunny conditions, but a little bit cool at 25 degrees centigrade. With that, we conclude it. Stay tuned and join us again tomorrow. I remain St. Alex Kim.